Once upon a time, there was a magic forest, and in that forest, there lived a unicorn. She has always lived in her forest, and her forest has always existed. Such is the way of magic. For as long as the unicorn remembered, she was alone in her forest. She explored the forest, but it had no beginning and no end. For the first time, she knew loneliness. That night, she gazed wistfully at the stars and said aloud, "If anyone else can see these stars, I wish I could meet them." The next morning, she woke to strange sounds in the distance. She wandered in their direction and found that her forest was no longer endless. Just beyond the shrubs and trees, she saw them. Using her magic, she changed herself to look like them and stepped out of her forest for the first time. The strange beings welcomed her in their festivities, and she laughed and sang and danced with them all day into the night. As the moon reached its zenith, she felt the forest calling her. Reluctantly, she said goodbye to her new friends and returned to her home. From then on, whenever the stars aligned in just the right way, she could leave the forest and spend the day with these creatures. She loved their spirit and their creativity. She learned much from them, but her favorite things were art and writing. She learned how to draw and paint and make gifts for them, and in return, they would bring her supplies and books to read that she could take back to the forest. Every now and then, when she returned home, others would hear the forest call and follow. Over time, the magic of the forest would change them. They first became tiny sprites, but the longer they stayed, the more they changed, until finally their form matched their soul. And so, the unicorn was no longer lonely, but full of love and hope. She had found her family at last.